feel about it because we live in the most sensitive times ever. Everybody's a crybaby in 2026, and in 2027, grown people are going to be wearing diapers. I mean, grown people are already wearing diapers, but the point I'm trying to make is Nolan Wells' mother got every right to hide that phone. Do y'all know what ChatGPT can do if she hand that phone over to authorities? They can totally flip the script and make it seem like her and Nolan had a hateful relationship if they got that phone. A lot of people believe she's stashing family secrets, but I promise y'all that might not be the case. Rumors, allegations going around about this man and his family. Like he's not dead. There's talks about Ben Crump pimping Nolan Wells' mother. And she's glad to be pimped by a wealthy black man. She can't get over the fact that Ben Crump looks similar to her husband, but the only difference is Ben Crump got money. And her man, on the other hand, got a flask and live in Mississippi. So she might not be too happy about that. We got to get into this news. I swear. I feel like all of the YouTubers put together, all of the talkative bloggers put together, all of the money-hungry Nolan Wells bloggers put together. So I'm going to be Tissa telling it. And I'm going to trend out loud. And I'm going to eat this Captain D's while I act like Willie D's and get into this damn news. Y'all listening? Okay, here we go. Let's go.
And was an incredible, just incredible soul. He was the person who, no matter where you were in life, what was going on, he was going to be your biggest cheerleader. And I can attest to that because after COVID, my sister was like, oh, you should do social media. And I'm like, I don't want to do social media. I like to just watch.
This shit is cringe. It's cringe, man. Is she happy or no? This is what she always wanted. A lot of people claim that she always wanted to be famous. Now her Pooh Bears get to see her on national TV. She's totally sucking up the moment. I know people mourn differently, but she not mourning. She nighting with this she got going on, y'all. And I'm gonna keep this respectful. But she do not want to give up that phone. So what's on it? Nolan didn't live with his mom, so I'm pretty sure he had a couple of text messages about her. Y'all know people be journaling in their phone. Some people be in their notes spilling it. And whatever he had to say about his living situation, venting, he probably made a video. It's no telling what's in that phone. She don't want the law to get it. And you figure if they can get his phone, they could solve the case. But Miss Christine, if you listening, don't get them people that phone. Because they can easily manipulate the situation. It's cringe what she's doing. But at the same time, this type of money just don't fall out the sky every day. The other day, the Powerball was what, $1 billion? I bought 1 billion tickets and they won it. But I don't feel bad about it because money is money. But I wouldn't play the lottery with my loved ones. And that's what it kind of looked like is going on here. Hey, I'm going to shut up about it and you be the judge for yourself.
Watch others. And then Nolan was like, no, Mom, you should do it. I'll help you with the videos. I got you. And, just anytime I was like, oh, I just really don't want to do this anymore, Nolan was like, no, Mama, you haven't posted today. And I'm like, I don't want to post.
Ooh, somebody need to put a foot, man. A foot. This lady is crazy. She finally getting her 15 minutes of fame at Nolan's expense. She said her other blog that if Nolan was alive, he would be pushing her. Mom, keep going. That's right. Do your thing. Be famous. You're your star, Mom. That's it. Yeah, keep going. No, don't worry about me. Go for the goal. Go for the goal. I thought they supposed to be trying to get justice. Ben Crump better not be pimping this lady, because if he is, it's going to be a hot seat in hell for every last one of them. Look at this, y'all.
some of the disputes that we have about that night. Dad, feel free to jump in here, because they're saying he met this young lady, Katie, and that he stayed back. According to the reporting, Katie is saying no. He said he was going to go with his friends. According to the reporting, the friends say no, he left us his phone because there was no reception. Dad, have you found any consistencies? Have you spoken directly with any of his friends?
Well, the first inconsistency was you called me and tell me my son stayed on the island to talk to a girl. My son would never do that. That's not in his character. I didn't raise none of my kids to do that. The second thing is, you say he doesn't have his phone. He doesn't leave his phone. I would wake up sometimes in the morning and Nolan would have his phone here right in my face. And I'm waking up cussing and fussing like, boy, you don't get the camera on my face. And he just laughing and giggling and stuff like that. So that's twice. To me, there's two lies that he told me as a father. Like I said, we went on the island. And actually, a classmate of mine called me that morning as we were going out to the island with Nolan's coach. He's like 40 miles away. He calls and, hey man, I got the boat. Me and my boys, we're gonna go out there and help you look. I didn't call him, he called me. And we're gonna start on this end. I said, well, we're probably gonna start on the other end. So me, my wife, Coach Bramley, and a high school classmate of mine were the only, we were the first ones out there looking. Like I said, we docked the boat, got out the boat, walked on the island. She had a whole conversation with her grandmother on the island, got back on the boat, went back around the island. I guess that would be the north side, facing the Gulf of Mexico. I get another phone call. So my phone worked fine. So this whole thing about not having phone service, I don't know. I don't know if it's the carrier or what, but ours worked fine. I think those around maybe 8 o'clock.
Yeah, because we finished up around.
Who was it? Jackson County or the?
Yeah, Jackson County Sheriff.
Finally showed up.
Yeah.
A couple of boats, they finally showed up. By that time, I was like, he's not out here.
Oh,
I was more focused that he was at someone's house.
That was the
So, that's where my hopes and feelings were. So we left. The county stayed out there. My friend, he stayed out there because he called. He was like, well, we're gonna stay out here.
Wait. I hate to be this way, y'all. But I got to keep it real. They're not doing nothing but providing entertainment for people. What is this? They on the stage with an audience? It's an event, an expo. What this got to do with justice? Are they, what type of Hollywood shit they got going on, y'all? They supposed to be getting down to business. Lawyers handle things and send you cease and desists and letters and fucking you've been served. Lawyers are very discreet. They'll blindside you with some shit. They don't tell you what they cooking up or what they got. They putting this out to the public. So this is entertainment. And I get what he's saying. It's intriguing and all that, but there's some gossip. They spilling tea on Nolan's grave. Casually. This is sickening. They could have kept this between themselves. Tell it to Ben Crump. He the damn, what we gonna do with the information? It sounds like they trying to stir up the bees, y'all. They withholding evidence. They not trying to give up that phone. They too busy trying to entertain and excite the masses. It ain't like they gonna do shit. What's the point, man? Hey, one thing I know, people love drama. People love to see you doing bad. People will pay to see you doing bad. Boxers go out there. People want to see somebody get that ass beat. The more blood, the more swollen your eye, the better. So they in this arena, this suffering arena, this black struggle, they capitalizing off of the struggle, man. I'm sorry. And y'all ain't gonna like it. I know somebody unsubscribed and left a whole comment about how they unsubscribed. Somebody out there can't take it no more, this lame ass, weak ass. I'll be all that. But I see it for what it is. This ain't solving. Tell me if what you hearing from this man is going to possibly solve the case.
A bit longer. I said, okay, I ran. He stayed out there because he called. He's like, well, we're going to stay out here a little bit longer. I said, okay, I appreciate it. So we leave. Then I would say maybe a couple hours later, my friend calls me back and he would say, well, we're going to give it and go. But he said, look, I can gas the boat back up. And if you want to go back out there, we can go back out there. I said, I don't want to go back out to the island. I have a feeling that he's not there. And I don't want to go back to the island. So he said, he said, well, if you do, we can go right now. I said, don't worry about it. I appreciate you coming out there. But he said at that time that helicopters were out there, more Coast Guard, more people were out there. Mm-hmm. So we get back on land, and as far as the keys, what was that night? Or was it?
That was that night.
That was the night to call. Okay, let me back up. As far as getting the car back, after we gave our report to Jackson County, the sheriff department that night, we were trying to figure out who to get a report to. We had a friend in the family that located his phone. Mm-hmm. We wasn't there to get the phone, but apparently there was some kind of friction with getting his phone.
Yeah.
We don't know what the friction was.
So the phone and the key were at the same location, which was Jack's house.
Okay.
And again, all of these kids share their locations on Snapchat. And so she was like, hey, I can go pick his phone up, not thinking that his car is there, you know, which she stopped everything she was doing. Her and the boys, they went out. Like, we were all out searching for him that night. And yeah, like Elmore was saying, there was an issue, some type of friction. The cops ended up coming and they left. And so then kind of the same thing when we came to pick up the key, Elmore went up there asking for the key, didn't know where the key.
Shit, that's my phone doing that. Well, that was kind of bootleg, y'all. I do apologize about that. Hey, let's have a quick little chat real quick, since we talking about Nolan Wells and everything. How long I've been on here? Let's talk about it real fast. Hey, we all know we know more details than anybody. We all on the same page with the Nolan Wells situation. You gots to be. There's a million videos about it. His parents is providing live intel, everything they know about the situation. You know, it's one thing when people talk about you behind your back, whatever you may be going through, whatever tragedy you may have suffered. You probably got some shit going on health-wise, personally, and you tell your family because they supposed to be the closest ones to you. You feel like they're going to keep it confidential because they got your back or whatever the case. This is borderline disrespectful, in my opinion, that they feel so to have an open discussion about something so fragile, something so sensitive. Is really nobody's business but law enforcement or the people that can really make a difference. They need to be trying to tell it to Obama or somebody in power that gives a damn. But that's hard to do because Nolan's friends done lawyered up with Trump's lawyers. And they keep on talking about how they good Americans and they're good boys and all this shit. So maybe their back is up against the wall with this thing. But me personally, I feel like they would get a lot further if they built suspense with silence. Because it would give all of the bloggers wouldn't have no weight. they're providing all of the weight for the bloggers to push the narrative. And this lady thanked the bloggers. She's appreciating the bloggers for pushing this narrative. So what is it that they have to hide? Because they know more than what they're telling. Obviously, you got all these details, and you talking about situations that happened after the death. What was going on before his passing? What was that living situation like? Was Nolan coming home every night, or was he out there in them streets? I mean, he 18. He damn near grown, or whatever the case is. But how close was that relationship? Are they the right people to be speaking on Nolan? Was he closer to other people? Where was his place of residency when he passed? Who was his caretakers at the time he passed? Because they need to be the ones, giving their take on what was going on as well. Because this right here, let me show y'all what I'm talking about, man. Look at this.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
But, that's the kind of person he was. He was God-fearing, God-loving. That boy had faith beyond measure. He was just a bright light. And he was our bright light. As far as that day goes, went to work, and he was making salmon. So he was FaceTiming me as I'm trying to see patients kind of in between, of course, not answering the phone in the room. And he's like, hey, Mama, how does this look? Is this enough season? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I was like, okay. I was like, you don't have to do that. And he's like, no, I'm going to take care of it. I was like, okay, sure. And so he finishes cooking, get home. He's like, yeah, what you know about this? And he was, guys, when I tell you, he loved to joke. Like, he was just one of those people. He wanted everyone around him to smile, be happy, feel comfortable and accepted. And that is the kind of person God made him. Us as parents, we definitely had that influence, but Nolan was just naturally a peacemaker.
Yeah.
And so yeah, after that it was, 8, and then he got ready to go. He did his normal, hugged us up, I love you, Mom. I was like, be safe, knowing this was going to be his last weekend before going back to school, because football was starting, the summer training.
I know she ain't talking about on the 4th of July. I mean, I know they probably Asian or something. So he was cooking up some salmon on the 4th before he headed out with the boys. He fixed everybody a plate, hugged up everybody in the family, and then he headed out with his boys, the horn. Well, how early was it? Did he have some eggs with that salmon? He cooked dinner early as hell, unless it was some breakfast patties or something.
Training was starting, and this was his second year at Southwest, and so we knew this was going to be a big year for him. Dad and him had been training and doing all these things, and really just kind of sitting with him and letting him know, like, hey, we're going to the next stage in your life as well as, your football career. So the focus was there, and he was ready.
So he leaves that day.
He leaves that day with, he drives his car, and he told us kind of a general, like, hey, we're going to go to the island. Like, we knew that. I'm staying at Jack's house. And Jax was a friend I think we've met in passing before. And that's the thing, I always say there's a difference in meeting someone, knowing of someone, and then knowing someone. Knowing implies that we've sat down, we've had discussions about your hopes, your dreams, knowing you, okay, hey, he stayed the night at my house, which Wyatt, one of his friends, he had stayed at our house a couple of times. And then Jax, again, that was one I just maybe saw in passing a few times. There's only a handful of young men that we actually knew, like, he grew up with. And when I say grew up, I'm saying from like first grade, they've known each other all through high school.
Okay, what y'all selling? That's the part we got to get to. They talking a whole lot of turkey for some nosy, interested ass people that ain't none of they damn business. None of y'all business out there. What you selling? Come on, get around to it. What you want? That's like somebody stop you in public. You don't know them from nowhere. And they want to give you the rundown about some shit going on in their life. And if you really ain't got time, you gonna tell them, hey man, I got shit I gotta do. What was going on? What you selling? What do you want? What do you need? And if it's answers, we ain't got no answers. Talk to Ben. Why she need to be telling all this to Ben Crump, man? Because there's nothing. What we gonna do with it? Besides be entertained. I'm stuck on this, man. That's why, to me, I don't know about y'all, but to me, it seems like she's not telling the whole story. She knows if the case is done and they don't did what they wanted to do with it, just come out and say that you want to be confiscated, because it's not looking like no justice is coming no time soon, and that's messed up. And I wish it would. You never know. God work in mysterious ways. There may be some justice for Nolan Wells, but it's going to be hard to do with his parents being so comfortable. When you see her, you say, she all right. She ain't talking about nothing. She need to save all them words for something important. Choose your words wisely, especially in this type of situation. You ain't Oprah. Do she want a sitcom or a talk show or something? If that's what she want, just let it be known, man. When this is all over, when the smoke clear, do she want to have a Pooh Bear podcast or something? Just say that. Because right now, they doing too much. Doing press conferences and things. Look at this.
He was, and all of a sudden we know where the key is.
But see, hold on. But see, this and this is another thing that bothered me too. When we got to the house, you know, it was some of his other friends were there, you know, and they were, you know, beating on the door like, "What Nolan there? What Nolan there?" You know, beating on the door trying to get in the house. So I walk up to the door and I'm calming them down, because for one, okay, you're allowed. Two, you're in these people's house. So if you tear these people's house up, that's gonna be a whole nother issue. I don't want y'all bothering that. And three, I need you guys to calm down, and I need them to kind of trust me as being the adult so I can get something out of them. So I get them out the house, and then Jax finally comes down the stairs, I guess in the room, hair all messed up like he just woke up, whatever. I said, look, I'm Nolan's father. His car's outside. I need to get his car and all his personal effects that may be left over with. And he goes, oh man, Nolan was like my brother. I said, Nolan was like my brother. I said, well, if Nolan was like your brother, would you please go and get everything of his so I can get his car, I can go home. So he walks off. 2 or 3 minutes later, he come back. I don't see the keys. Okay. So I leave out the house, go back outside, stand by the car. During that time, one of the guys that was in the house, one of the other friends, he was on the phone with a girl who was apparently there with them earlier that day. And she was telling him that his keys was on top of the Xbox in his room. So he goes back up to the door by himself, and we're still out by the car. And lo and behold, here comes the keys. So now to me, you lied to me 3 times. I don't believe nothing that you tell me from here on out.
Oh, damn. Them some cold-blooded snakes in Mississippi, boy. Damn, them little boys grimy like that. Dog took you out the game, got your keys sitting on top of the Xbox. Whoever the chick was in his bedroom and seen Nolan keys on the box. Wow. They really had it out for him. What was really going on? That phone, it's in the phone, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's in that phone. And I'm pretty sure they done already went through it. And Ben Crump said, no, we can't use that because if they see this, it's over with. We can't do nothing with it. Who knows? Nolan probably was banging all their girlfriends. He holding the camera. Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. Yeah. Who knows? And, I hate to be speaking on Nolan. Rest in peace to him. But best believe it's in that phone, man. I know it's in the phone. It gots to be. It's two sides to every story. We want to hear Nolan's side. Was it any two-facedness going on? Because his friends was damn sure two-faced. You know what they say. And I ain't trying to say that about Nolan. But birds of a feather flock together, man. How could you even be down with a grimy clique? That's like being down with 3-6 Mafia, but you ain't worshiping the devil. How you gonna roll? That's like being with Bone Thugs and Harmony and you rap slower than a motherfucker. That ain't gonna work. That's like being a part of NWA and you a white guy that work on Wall Street and you very, very preppy. That don't work. If you gonna be one of the bros, you gotta be one of the bros. And that's why a lot of women been hitting me up asking me, like, I know. A lot of sisters want to know, how did Nolan feel about black women? I know it wasn't no sisters on Horn Island. He was better off going to the neighborhood barbecue. He was out there on Horn Island. Becky, Samantha, and Sarah in bikinis. They said he was having too much fun out there. And they got jealous. It's one thing when they treat you like a dog, but when you do some horny shit on Horn Island, that's when they want to put you down. They said he was drinking and he was doing way too much that day. They was all jealous. Nolan had a whole middle finger and they was working with them pinkies. And they seen it on the boat. They got pictures of Nolan in wet trunks. And all them girls was standing there. He the only black motherfucker on the island, looking like a tall Jamaican. And them boys got in their feelings. And Bart the Fart is who I think took Nolan out, allegedly. But what do I know? All I know is there's something in that phone. His mother don't want Ben Crump to see it. Because that's going to shut all this shit down. No more limelight, no more cameras. They could flip all of this on his parents. And I feel for the dad because he seemed like the most sincere person in this case. When he talk about what happened with Nolan, it sounds like he take it personal. If I ever see one of them niggas in the 7-Eleven, I'll go upside their head, man. Told you. You don't lie to me 3 times, nigga. He gonna tackle one of them niggas at the farmer's market. I just can't call it, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Because I'm hurt, man. I'm disgusted that this happened. But it's too much funny business going on. Way too much funny business. We just gonna have to wait and see how this gonna play out. Y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel too. Hit the notification button. Let me know what y'all think about this. I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. Hold on, where my shit at? I can't even leave right. There you go, come on. Oh my God. I can't even leave this motherfucker right. Oh man, I'm stuck. Oh, I'm gonna figure out a way to get the fuck out of here. Y'all stay tuned. This night, I'm fucking live streaming with an 8-track. Do I even got an outro on this bitch? I don't. Oh my God, this is terrible. Ooh, when I exit, I'm not gonna look back. I'm gonna just hang up. Matter of fact, this is the damn outro. Cut the music, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button too. Yo, I'm going to holler at y'all on my